Oh, nice, 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 nice. Any closing thoughts on the state of the game? That's a great question. We don't know shit. That's probably the biggest thing, is a lot of people are drawing conclusions about who's the best, who's the worst, and we don't know. Listen, I know you guys hear about this dude way too much on my stream, all right? But this tweet I actually really agree with. This account doesn't exist. What the fuck? Why'd I put an ATO? This shit. It took people less than 2 days of brainstorming versus brand new problems with brand new tools before deciding there's no answers and their main sucks. Like, this is all, I completely agree. Like, everybody came in today saying Kazuya sucks, Kazuya sucks, Kazuya sucks. How do we know that? Metas won't be established till the first tournament. Fuck that. We're like 7 years. 7 years into 7 years into Tekken 7, and we're still learning things about the old system, not even like things that were buffed or patched. Now, the cool part about this game is it's so interactive. I think we'll find things like faster. But like, come on. I don't think they were complaining about down forward 3+4. They didn't seem to care about that. They care about the fact that movement is really good and that his old combos don't work. Those were the main complaints. Yes, sir. The fee, you fuck with the just chatting, Prakash? You were right. I just need to be a bigger... Yeah, you gotta be a dickhead in this game. That's the point. All the really good gamers who are just dickheads are eating right now. Like, just Sandy said Azucena needs to not be T7 and T8. King needs to not be fucking Geese Howard in this game, bro. King is the Geese Howard of this game. I ducked like 7 throws and I couldn't launch them. They buffed the recovery on those. He has 10 frame counter hit launchers. You think about that? It's ridiculous. They have to change that. I pray to the almighty Lord that they change that. Yeah, this is my final thoughts on the game, is that it was really fun. It was very interactive. The way the system works, not just the backdash nerf, but the fact that sidestepping is so good and attacking is super strong and counter hits and low parries are not as good, means you're just going at each other and brawling, and that's really cool. And I suck at that. I'm actually really bad at that style of Tekken. And it's still exciting for me and fun. So that's my probably final take on the game, is we don't know shit. I hope you had fun. Combos are going to change, frames are going to change. Heat system is still always changing. What I hope is that things start to stabilize. I hope that they don't make any more drastic changes to the heat system. I think it's settled in an okay place. I did like the ability to heat dash after a heat burst, but I get why they took that away. I think everything is looking good. The only thing on my... Actually, I have a small wish list, and it's actually similar to... What's this guy's name? Mihawk. This guy's wish list is very similar to mine. So let's go through it. Rage Art. Nerf it to more than 15. You risk your life. You should also die if you use it. You risk your life for defending against it, I think, or attacking into Rage Art, I think is what he meant to say. Also change the block stun. Yeah, it's really easy for Rage Art to whiff and you just don't get your punish. Some characters struggle to punish Rage Art. Yeah. Heat overall mechanic, way too much chip damage, turns the game to pure 50-50 with the right characters. Kind of. I think there are some heat states that are ridiculous. And like King. And others that are underwhelming, which I think is okay. I think it's okay that there's a discrepancy in the strength of heat. What I think is less okay is over nerfing heat to the point that it's barely a mechanic. I like the idea that it still is in the game and is still relevant and threatening. Law's heat is actually pretty decent. I think his frames change, but the main thing that's interesting about Law's heat is he has the DSS auto parry, so retaliating is scarier. He has the heat burst, which is tracking, I think, 15 frame mid sets up a mix-up after with a slide, DSS, legend kick. Glaciating was doing that ridiculously. I've never fought against that. The only heat that really annoys me is probably King's, but you can hit him low out of the Jaguar dash. He has to hard call that out with the jumping mid. But heat is so unexplored. Heat is so unexplored. That's probably a big thing. Is all of the greatest minds that are character specialists are doing combos and heat combos and things like that. But you're not seeing a lot of people in PvP really setting up strong heat-based gameplay, right? I think it's heavily underexplored. That said, a lot of people were in lobbies today. I was in ranked, and I wasn't really doing anything. I was making content. I wasn't really exploring a lot of stuff. So I might just be in the dark. But I haven't seen a lot of heat strategy that's really good. Heat burst shouldn't have any armor on sub. It's supposed to be used as a rage drive, and then it also should function with the same properties. You can get interrupted. Yeah, I think the armor on heat burst is weird. Heat smashes need to be more punishable on block. Yeah, if you do a low heat smash. There's a lot of -14 in this game. Using moves that are modified in heat didn't even enter my mind while playing. Yeah, exactly. It's like, how do you can't see the chat with the tweets on the right. Can I zoom this in even more? There we go. I just wanted chat to be kind of visible still. Sorry. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there's a lot of heat. Like Azucena's heat, I did not explore enough either. She has the back 2 homing move that complements running 3-2 very well, and it turns into a launcher in heat. I only pulled it off like one time. DSS is Law's stance, dragon charge. There's like a little wiggle. Kazuya's heat is very underexplored because all the Kazuya players are trying to play him like it's Tekken 7. Joe Crush, thank you for the raid, bro. Saw you entering all those tournaments. Good work, good grind. I'm horrified by the idea of playing you in this game. Hope you had a good stream, bro. Heat Hell Sweeps blow. Claudio's is good because his entire kit is so strong. Yo, what's up, Shola? Heat Smash is Ebro, but yeah. Heat Dash and combos became useless. Change it. You can only have heat once per round. Yeah. Heat Dash and combos barely happens now, I think. Because by the time that you end up in heat state, which you can't control as much because heat engages are forced, if you manually go into it, you have 2/3 of your bar. So by the time you actually get down to when you would use it, you probably run out. Like the odds of getting another launcher right away. Heat Dash you barely see as combos. You see it a lot more as like a mix-up tool. And I think the combo feature of it was really, really cool. So I hope they fix this, especially since they took out the 2 things, the 2 tokens. Maybe they could add that in or something. I'm not sure, but I think Heat Dash should be able to combo still. Don't give heat at the beginning of a round. Make the player earn it by dealing or receiving damage. Yeah, I think that would be cool. Like you heat up, like you start with like half a bar or 2/3 of a bar, and then you heat up and get full heat and then you use it. That would be cool. They're probably not going to do it because they don't want Tekken to be like a build up resource kind of game. Heat Smash needs a range tracking reduction. Some characters have homing Heat Smash and that is not fun to play against. It's not fun to play against. It's not. But heat deteriorates so quickly now that you could chill and be fine. Law is probably the hardest to chill against because he threatens slide. And if you want to step left the DSS stuff, he can do that. Heat Dash forces you take a mix-up after blocking a safe or unsafe move, which is turning everything into a hard 50-50. Yeah, but I think there are ways... Maybe I'm wrong. If the movement were a little better, you could probably deny things like Demon Paw 50-50. Right? It's kind of like... I feel like if you manage your HP in the chip, maybe it'll be easier to avoid that. Maybe not, though. People got to realize it's a new game. Not shit can be the same. Yeah, exactly. There are things that are going to be different and things that are going to be dumb. I think reducing the things that are totally brain dead are fine. Like, these are hard 50-50s, but maybe there's a way you can play that denies their ability to even access that, right? Like, so for example, like King is going into 50-50 with his stupid Jaguar dash over and over, but when I was playing King, I kept getting generic down forward, so I could never pull off the heat dash. You know what I mean? So, throws are too weak. Still no command throws for many characters. Makes throw game not balanced at all. Either give command throws to everyone or lower the throw break window. Throws are weak. They're the same as Tekken 7, except because of counter hit throws. So they're actually stronger. Throws are all stronger because of counter hit throws. Somebody, we were all debating in the first network test that counter hit throws were unbreakable. And then they came out in an interview and said, they're not unbreakable, actually. You just have to be faster. And then somebody, this information's floating around. I don't know if it's accurate, but if it's accurate, they say, people are saying that the throw break window is now 5 frames. That is basically unbreakable. Okay? The general accepted range of reactability in Tekken is anywhere from 19 frames to 24 is like, this is seeable, depending on audio. With the throw, the startup is 12 frames. Usually you get a 20 frame break window as of Tekken 7. It used to be, I believe, 15 in Tekken Tag 2. Let me see. Tekken Tag 2 throw break window. Okay, this will be easier like notepad, okay? Let me talk about this. The throws are a big deal to me. Throws are a big deal to me. Okay, let's put this here. Notepad web browser. Sure. Okay, cool. Okay, so 12 for Tekken. I don't really care about this. I played most of these. Okay. Okay, this is really important, okay? In Tag 2, from Tekken 5, 12 frame startup. So I12 throw plus I14 break window equals 26 frame react, right? If our react window is anywhere from 19, I can't react to 19, but to like I24, then that's cool, right? This is T5 to TTT2. Okay, and then T7, I12 throw, plus I20 break window, 32. Right? You guys aren't stupid. I just want to like have it visually laid out, okay? Generic throws can be broken 1 or 2, whatever. Tekken 8 is the same, 20 frame break window. But counter hit throw, you're telling me I12 throw plus I5 break window. You're joking. You're joking when you say it's basically still breakable. I have had situations where I am mashing jab, King Giant swings me, and my mash jab, which got counter hit, cannot break the Giant swing. And let's get to King. So if this is the case, that's ridiculous. Jasandy is saying someone in the King Discord said they made it 8 frames. Let's actually look it up. Let's see. Tekken 8, counter hit throw, break window. They might not have any info on it. Yeah, people are saying take away throws. Yeah. So, graciously, if we assume that it's an 8 frame break window, this fruit fly is fucking killing me, Jesus. 17 to 20, right? All right, 8 break window. To 18. That's still insane. Because that's just ridiculous. I would rather they just said it's unbreakable instead of doing this. Because it's only going to happen on accident. Anyways, I've talked about that enough. I'm done bitching, sorry. Okay. Remove throws as a block punish. This leads to extreme imbalance in certain situations. For example, Law can launch throw after blocking a power curse that is myself. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Mihawk probably didn't know about the counter hit throws. No, he did. Leroy's chip felt above average. That is on purpose. They wanted his chip to be his heat identity. Throws as block punish. This one's interesting. This is really unbalanced. They would have to figure this out. Jasandy is a hard capper, okay? It's definitely still doable. This dude did a perfect electric on the 3rd try, okay? Do not take Jasandy's word. Nicest guy, great pal, awesome to hang out with. Do not take his word on anything about reactions or character difficulty, okay? Do not take anything he says seriously. He told me King is really hard to play at high level while he spends 90% of his life in school and 10% of his time playing Tekken, and then he wins tournaments. Third time perfect electric. Don't talk to me. I will ban you. Can't listen to the Michael Phelps saying swimming is easy. Bro, shut up. Michael Phelps like, I just swim. They did like an anatomical analysis. He's built to swim. He says, I just swim. Come on. Come on, man. Just don't drown. Just use your arms. Anyways. Backdash feels not good enough yet. However, it feels better than closed network test. Needs another change until full game release. Otherwise, it's too much brawl up close. So I agree that it doesn't feel good enough yet. It didn't feel better than the CNT to me. Because I was on PC. I was on PS5 to PC. It felt like just a difference there. I have a backdash tier list we're working on. Trying to get that out ASAP. But yeah, it doesn't feel good enough, especially with the buff to just single backdash cancels. I would love if they buffed KBD like 25%. 25% of a faster or like longer backdash, and the game I think would feel perfect for me. I would obviously want more, but like just that little distance more would be a big deal. Sidestep and Sidewalk are good, but certain characters profit from it too much. Yeah, Lily is insanely good right now, but I'm cool with that. Backdashing felt the same as CNT, but the reason I think is because, yeah, it's an aggressive decision. There's two reasons, and they talked about this in interviews. The first reason is the aggressive playstyle. They hate the backdash playstyle. And I get it. It's really boring. But it came out of different things. It came out of the counter hit game and the low parry game more, and like the one-shot nukes more than it came out of the fact that backdashing was too good. The second thing is, yeah, it's one, it's too aggressive, and then two, they talked about the rollback netcode being easier to code if people weren't canceling their movement so much. It's easier to predict where the character is going to be on the screen if the cancellation window is stronger at the end, right? So you can constantly predict it better, right? Sidestep Sidewalk are really good. I like that. I think it's fine. Please remove or change the access to instant while running moves. It defeats the purpose of dash blocking, which I think is a very important game plan. I got hit a lot dash blocking, so maybe. Maybe. I'm sure there's a way to adjust for it. But I do like the idea of more segmented movement. It feels like Soul Calibur running right now, which many people really like. Many people think it's really popular. And I think I'll just say it here. Soul Calibur movement is fine. Tekken movement is different. And the reason why Tekken movement is cool is because it just rewards skill. It's like, I will always say that it's like dribbling in basketball. If you take away dribbling in basketball and people just run around holding the ball, the game becomes so silly. The game becomes so silly. I'm pretty sure this was explored in the past. Like, this is not, dribbling is not like the first variation of basketball, right? It applies a bit of mechanical demand where people can mess up. It has a skill curve, so you can get so good at it that it's as if it's not a thing for you, right? The final thing is it's not just a barrier to movement. The nature of how Korean backdashing works and segmented movement, which is still fluid, but has segmented rhythms, it creates timings. The playing around somebody's backdash is something real players do, like really good players. They watch your backdash timings. That affects your forward dash timings. Some people clip the down back input in your backdash if it's not clean enough. Some people use it to just figure out the tempo of your attack rhythm. These are things that cannot exist if you just move around freely. It's not about gatekeeping people from playing the game. That's not the part for me. It's that, well, I don't see it that way. It is a gatekeeping mechanic, but I see it as an augmentation to the system where, first of all, you work on it, you get better at it, that feels really good, right? If it's hard to learn, there are methods, I make videos on it, there are methods to improve the way you understand the mechanic itself and get your body to cooperate. Obviously, there are people who have bodily difficulties and cannot execute it. And I think that's where changes they've made, like smooth backwalking and segmented backstepping that is faster, are beneficial to those kinds of people. And I think that's a great change. I think they should keep that. However, I think removing Korean backdash to get this flowy movement, where again, we're talking about this because of the running movement forward being so overly fluid, you get instant running with forward. That just ruins so much of the game that is not negligible. It's a real part of the game, dribbling in basketball. You can't have a crossover on somebody. You can't have these crazy spin moves if you're just running around. And then ATL Koreans makes a good point. There's people who are good without the KBD. I saw that in the beta. I was getting my ass beat by people doing the slowest KBD I've ever seen. You see these King players, they do one Jaguar step, hit you there in heat, and they're running at you. You don't need it. But taking it away for everybody is removing a lot of nuance and detail. And I think it's a big thing that keeps people interested. You can make these changes and draw people for 2 hours, and then they drop the game. What happens to the player base that wants to stay? You know what I mean? I've talked about that enough. Let's keep going. It doesn't make sense to make generic down 4, 15 on block. There's barely any damage. The risk is too high. Make it 13 again, -2 on hit. I agree. I agree. If it's an aggressive game and you want to poke and control and interact, make it steppable. Make the generic down 4 steppable. It doesn't have to be -15. Safe get up kicks. Personally dislike the change with counter hit get up. The change with counter hit get up kicks being gone is fine, but making them entirely safe makes the get up situation not as exciting to play. I agree. I think you should be taking a risk for doing a get up kick, even if you're not getting much reward. If it's all safe, then the attacker just stops threatening your down state, and you just sit there. And this whole game is about aggressiveness and interaction. Why are we just sitting there waiting for the get up kick that does 2 damage and, you know, can't punish? I agree with this a lot. Put chicken back in the game. There's no need for it to be gone. When it comes back, make it actually more rewarding and useful instead of little. I don't agree with the second part. The great part about chicken is that you have a game that is super aggressive. You have characters with really good parries. The action of just denying the parry because you trained and prepared for it is all it takes. It doesn't have to be more rewarding, you know. And in a game that's this attack heavy, I think it's necessary. For launch of the game, give an option to deathmatch an opponent. This is the one thing I disagree with, and I'll talk about why, but let's keep going. Save files not saved locally, but stored online. That should be a standard at this point. Effects are still too much. Give us more options to tone down the visuals. It gets too distracting. The effects are really good, I think, right now, but I think the details in the backgrounds can be part of the problem. But an option is nice. Especially with all the PCs failing to run the game smoothly. I think they should be able to tone it down like a tournament mode. Sound effects feel weird and not typical Tekken-like. Yeah, the sound design, I get why they changed it. You have a realistic appearance. Everybody looks a lot more real. The block sounds are a bit more muted, kind of like actual blocks. And with another factor to think about, because I used to do a lot of like music and sound design and things like that, the heat sounds are so loud. Like ka-ching every time you do a heat whatever. Every time you do a heat engage. The heat smashes really, really, really hit. The heat smashes make huge, high impact sounds. So you can't have a sound design that is all intense sounds. So they've made the regular things muted so that these high impact sounds can be intense, exciting, and not overwhelming. The problem is most people are not playing like in tournament play. You're not going to see that all the time. So the sound effects do feel weird, and I think there's probably a way to strike a balance. I'm not sure, but the block sounds can probably be a little louder. The hit sounds can be a bit more intense. Electrics don't feel electric. You know, netcode seems unstable. Game is not running optimal yet. I bet that'll be done in the future. Yeah, and I think toning down the effects will help with that because in my experience, the netcode was good, but PC performance was a huge issue for a lot of other people. Okay. For launch of the game, give us options to deathmatch. This is great in Europe, I think, because the player base is so active. But in North America, especially now in Tekken 7, at high level, almost no one is playing. The queues are so dead. Not even high level, like blue ranks, like upper mid to mid level. If you let people deathmatch, it removes 2 people from the queue for an extended amount of time. Nobody gets to play. So I think deathmatch should exist in a lobby format where if you go to make a lobby with somebody, you can deathmatch them. But in the ranked queue, I think it should stay best of 3 or maybe best of 5. That's my take. Otherwise, I agree with most of the changes, honestly. The big ones, I think, are Heat, I think is fine. Rage Art, I like the change a lot. The biggest change, I think, is the throws. I agree with all of these. Movement can still be slightly better. We talked about the reasons why. It doesn't have to remove the fun for other people, especially with the benefits they're making for beginners. Safe get up kicks are really lame. Not like game breaking, just kind of lame. Makes it less exciting. And then chicken should be back in the game. This running thing, yeah. Cool. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Leave a like if you thought that was interesting. And that was a fun beta. I'll be happy to catch you whenever the next Tekken 8 content comes out. But I'm also still very active in Tekken 7. We got our ICFC tournaments. I'll be trying to put out some more regular content, especially how you can prepare for Tekken 8. I think Tekken 7 is still going to be a useful tool for preparing for the next game. Catch you in the next one. Peace.